Good afternoon, everyone. So we can officially start our third pitch day for round two of Road to Sustainability. I'm Daisy Bhuya, the lead of communication at Nisarg Foundation and the host for today's event. So before we start, I'd like to state the event agenda for today, which is the evaluation of business proposal. So initially, we were about to start with Carbon X submitted by Aditya Dubey, but due to a certain health emergency, he won't be able to present today. So we'll move ahead with the presentation of Green Grocer by Akanksha Rajkumari, followed by uses of eco-friendly products over single-use plastic by Ajit Kumar Pallai, The Future of Fashion by Akhilesh Anil Kumar, and Zero Waste by Shivrao Challa. Having said that, I'd like to give a brief description of who we are as an organization. Nisarg Foundation is a non-profit organization based out of California in the US. Currently, we're trying to build a community of like-minded people in India as well. And to achieve that, we have introduced our flagship program, Road to Sustainability. I'd like to introduce our founder, Mr. Chirag Kathrani. Sir, I request you to please unmute yourself and say a few words.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining in. First of all, I need to thank all the judges and everybody who has written these great proposals. It's very excited to look into them, and thank all the judges to taking the time and being this call.
Thank you, sir. Moving ahead to one of our co-founders, Mr. Rishi Agarwal. Sir, would you also please unmute yourself and say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, Daisy, and welcome everyone. And it's a pleasure being over here. And I look forward to hearing at least one entry because I have to leave for another presentation around 3 o'clock. But my best wishes to everybody, and with all the kind of dire environmental reports which keep coming up, I think every effort is welcome. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rishi sir. Moving ahead to our CEO and co-founder, Mr. Vikrant Srivastava. Sir, I request you to please unmute yourself.
Hi, Daisy. Thank you. Very congratulations to everyone. I know how important this is for you all. Good luck and good wishes. I hope we will grow, expand, and strengthen our business cycle towards sustainability.
Thank you, Vikrant sir. I'd like to now introduce our judges who have been the pillar of our initiative, which is Road to Sustainability. I'd like to introduce Dr. Renuka Thakur. She's the founder of Global Sustainable Future, and she's currently based in the United Kingdom. Ma'am, would you please say a few words?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Daisy. And I congratulate, first of all, to Chirag and Nisarg Foundation team actually to initiate this program. It is very, very important for our adaptation and resilience for climate change. And I see tremendous interesting projects coming through this, your initiative, which I love to hear all of them. They have made real, like they have the potential to make a real change. The only tragedy on our side is that we cannot give money to everyone. But I think these ideas in themselves show that we are going in the right way. And I wish every success to all the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Moving ahead to our next judge, who is Mr. Bhaskar Natarajan. He has more than 25 years of experience in energy policy and sustainable development. Sir, I request you to please unmute yourself and say a few words for our participants.
Thank you, Daisy. It has been an interesting progress over the last 2-3 weeks. We've been fortunate to listen to some very interesting proposals. I look forward to some more interesting proposals today, and good luck to all the teams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So some of our judges are yet to join, but I'll give the introductions so that they can join in and all of our participants are aware of it. So one of our judges is Dr. Aritra Chakrabarti. He has more than 8 years of experience in the field of sustainable consultancy. We have Dr. Uma Maheshwaran Rajasekhar. He is the senior advisor at National Institute of Urban Affairs. We have Ashish Mehta. He has more than 20 years of corporate experience in engineering finance to his latest passion of scaling decentralized, consumer-oriented climate tech solutions. And then we have Dr. Vivek Gaurav. He is a scientist at ICMR. So after the introductions of our judges, I'd like to see how we move ahead with the presentation of the proposal. Each team would be given 25 minutes in total, out of which 15 minutes would be given for the presentation round, followed by 10 minutes for the Q&A round. During the presentation round, a bell would be rung at every 10 minutes to notify the teams that only 5 minutes are left for their presentation, and I request the teams to deliver their presentation accordingly. If any of our participants have any question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question right away. All right, since we have no questions, we are all set to start our third pitch day for round 2 of Road to Sustainability. I'd like to welcome Akanksha Kumari and her team to present their business proposal named Green Grocer. Akanksha, please try to share your screen and let us know whenever you're ready so that we can start the timer.
Hi, thank you so much, Daisy. I'll just quickly check if my team is here. Yes. Hi, Vikas. Hi, Snigdha.
Hi, Kansha.
Snigdha, you also
Hi,
come on
everyone.
video.
Hi, Kansha.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Team Green Grocer. That's myself, Vikas, and Snigdha. All of us have known each other for the past 2 to 3 years because a common connection was Bhumi, and all of us have been either working or volunteering for one of its environment education initiatives. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and take you through what our idea is.
Can we start
Daisy,
the timer?
you can start.
All right, your time starts now.
All right, thank you. So it's 2:13 already. So Green Grocer, as the name suggests, it's sort of like a coming together of green or the sustainable factor of groceries or food items. So before I get into the idea, I just want to share a bit more about the three of us. So Snigdha, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So hi everyone. I am Snigdha. I am a recent PhD scholar and I have completed it in the field of wastewater. Currently, I am working with the Department of Environment, Delhi Government as an associate fellow. In Green Grocer, I am majorly working with the app development sector of Green Grocer app.
Vikas, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Akansha. So my name is Vikas. I'm from Uttar Pradesh, and I'm currently working in TCS as a systems engineer. And apart from that, I've been volunteering with Bhumi, as Akansha said, for the past 2.5 years. And in Green Grocer, I'm majorly associated with the research department in the team.
Thanks, Vikas. And then there's myself. I've been in the development sector for about 5 years now. And at Bhumi, I'm a program lead for its environmental initiatives and the education initiatives. So at Green Grocer, I majorly manage the product improvement and management part of it. So moving on to the idea and how did we come across it? So while we know that climate change is it's a huge crisis, right? And we are talking about it from like every angle possible. But as per our research, we realized that food is one aspect on which everybody has the power to take action because everybody eats food, right? But generally, when we talk about climate change, we think about these, we talk at national level, political level, we talk at, that corporate level, and we often feel like, we can't do. As one consumer, as one individual, I don't have a lot of power. But that's where food comes in. And because everybody consumes food, as per our research, food is actually the third highest contributor of carbon emissions in the atmosphere. And that's where we want to introduce the control to our consumers, to every individual on the planet, that by controlling what you're eating and where your food is coming from, where you're purchasing and what kind of prior research you are doing, you can reduce your carbon footprint to a great extent, and that can make a really high level of impact on climate change. So That is a problem statement that we're introducing, that a lot of people are unaware that about 19% of the carbon emissions are due to food production and consumption, majorly unsustainable ways of food production and consumption. And hence the approach that we are following is to introduce people to the correct kind of research and connect them to a lot of grocers, farmers, basically a lot of producers who produce their food through sustainable methods. Now our idea is an app in itself. I'll also share a bit more about the features of the app in some time. So it's an app which is going to have a lot of your stores, a lot of manufacturers who are verified and certified by various eco-friendly certifying agencies, and they also are audited. So we have such certified agencies or partners as part of this app. And as part of this app, you can place an order about any product that you need from it. This product also connects you. It also helps you reduce your own carbon footprint. It also helps you give visibility about how whatever you're purchasing, where exactly it is coming from. So from the source to your plate, what has been the journey of that particular food item, that app is going to tell you. It will also connect you with the original farmer. It will have like a profile of the original farmer, the farm as well. What is their salary like? What is their pay like? What exactly is basically our point is to establish a fair trade through this entire journey. Lastly, we also want to ensure that we understand that such people who use this app could be a very, very small group, and hence we are trying to introduce the health factor, because we know that not everybody is so environment conscious, not everybody cares for the earth and everything, but people care about health, especially since the pandemic has hit, and people care about the health of their near and dear ones. So we're trying to introduce a lot of these health factors to get people to use an app, which also includes features like what is the calorie intake, your calorie intake, suggestions on like what you can purchase, what has a higher intake, and so on and so forth. And through all of this, we're looking at catering to 3 SDGs, which are focused on good health, responsible consumption, and climate action. So here are some features of our app and what the blueprint we have designed so far. So on the right side is basically, so we'll start with the left side. So the left screen is basically a consumer's screen. So when you log into it, these are the features you'll be able to see. And when you click on a particular store, suppose I click on this store, right? It will lead me to the profile of that particular store. I can see all the details plus what products are there. And at the same time, I'll also be able to see other features like calculating my own carbon footprint, some kind of green gyan of the day. When I also have a scanning feature. So every product that we sell through our store will have a scanning feature, which will tell you the entire history of the product. So you can also check that. There'll be some healthy recipes. Along with it, we are also giving our consumers the option to know more and also take action towards it, right? Action towards climate action. So that they can do by visiting the farm itself. We're also going to have some local farms with whom we partner. They can go and volunteer over there. They can interact with the farmers. They can learn to grow their own food, and they can also get to know about the waste policy of the store. Their auditing people will also be there, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the features of the app. I understand it's a text-heavy slide, so you can take 10 seconds to go through it before we move on to the next slide and hand it over to Vikas. I'll wait for 10 seconds before I move on. All right. So we have been already started working on this idea for some time, more than 1 month actually. So phase 1 was, research, understanding a lot about what has already happened in this particular field, what could be our potential partners, and so on and so forth. So I'll pass on to Vikas to take us through what has been the research done so far.
Yep. So thanks, Akansha. So we have basically designed our whole plan of the year into 4 phases, which is like phase 1, phase 2, 3, and 4. The first 1 month is we are going to spend upon a lot of research and reaching out to partners, reaching out to consumers, reaching out to a lot of different stakeholders to get to understand what exactly is the market, where exactly the product will be coming from, what exactly do the users want to see or not, right? And eventually this is going to be the first phase, which is the research phase. Secondly, once we have all the data and what exactly should be going into the app, we are going to start the we'll be moving towards the app development part of the whole phase. And then after we are done with the app development, we'll be launching it in the like two of the cities. One is Gurugram and the other one is Chennai. Majorly we'll be focusing on both the cities, and eventually in the next 6 months we'll be thinking about scaling up the whole program into different cities. So I'll go through one phases like in sequence. So first of all, like you see in the first phase, we are trying to understand the market, the need analysis, the buyer persona, competitors, product, and suitable demographics. So based on our research that we have done, so we came across this, like most of the people that are, organic conscious, or, want to live a eco-conscious life, want to have eco-conscious food habits. Sorry about that. So they are majorly coming from metropolitan cities, and that is what we are going to focus more on. So all the demographics that we have chosen, like Gurugram, Chennai, Delhi, or Bangalore, Chandigarh, they are majorly metropolitan cities, and the age group or the people that we are going to majorly focus on are working people, which are in between the age group of 20 to 50. So because they are the main breadwinners or the decision makers of what the family is going to eat and what where the money is coming from. So they are the major spenders on food and those things. So that is our target audience. Second phase, we are going to reach out to partners, like shop owners, try to understand what products they are selling. And these shop owners, these farms are actually going to be organic conscious farms. So none of the products that we are going to put on our application are going to be non-organic, or of which we are not sure about how they are being produced. So like Akansha mentioned, all the products that we're going to sell, we are going to have an audit of it. We are going to have a way of scanning, like the users are going to have a way of scanning and knowing where exactly that food product is coming from, right, from the farm to your plate. So all those auditing is going to be done, and just because of that, we are going to reach out to our partners, try to understand all of those things, and try to understand the market also. And again, like I mentioned, it's going to also focus on app development. The phase 3 is actually where we are launching the app, which is the pilot into 2 of the cities. One is Gurugram and the other one is Chennai. These are going to be, very like location specific or small regions in the whole, not the whole Gurugram, but small regions in the whole areas. Like you can see the actual population area and both the things that are mentioned on the slide. Also, I've already mentioned the profile that we are going to focus on, and eventually when we have all this data, we have launched our app in 2 of the cities, and we have some number of users, some amount of profit, and some amount of transactions on daily basis going on. Eventually plan to scale up into 3 other cities, which is like Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi NCR region. And that also will involve team expansion, app improvement, and carbon offset initiatives. So this is the buyer persona, like I already mentioned, the personal info of the people and the age group or the people that are coming from. So on our research, we are like, why did we choose the app as the place to go to, or not a website or something like that? Because we found out that most of the people are after pandemic are going to apps, and they are going to they are changing their buying habits. No more people are rarely going to markets, and especially in metropolitan cities, they are visiting more and more apps to get all those products from. So that is why we wanted to focus more on apps and not websites. A lot of websites are already there that sell these products. So like you can see on this slide, so a lot of these websites are already mentioned, and they are already selling the organic products that we want to sell to them. But as apps are much more friendly, and they are delivering in very specific locations, so that is why we want to focus on these things. And on the right, you can see, yeah, Kansha, can go back to the page. Yeah, so on the right, you can see which are the other competitors that we already have, right? Yeah, Kansha. So based on our 2 locations, Chennai and Gurgaon, so these are some of the organic stores that we have already thought of reaching out to for partnerships. We have already in connect with one of the stores also. And on the right side, you can see actually which our delivery partners and our auditing partners that will be there. Yeah, Kansha. And this is majorly the budget part. So as Akansha mentioned, that we are still in the ideation phase of the whole process, and a lot of work is to be done. So this is some sort of tentative plans of what all work is to be done and how exactly we are dividing it into. I'll just quickly mention what this whole thing is about. So on the left side, you can see all the tasks that we are going to do, and per month what exactly we are expecting the cost of that task to be. And in middle, you can see the green color thing. So that basically is sort of a graph where it mentions which exact month that cost for that particular task is being spent upon. So And going on to the whole, right, we see the total amount of cost for each of this, like each of the tasks, and that sort of totals up to 11 lakh of the whole capital expenditure. But at the bottom, you also see like initial first 6 months, we are also going to reach out to, hackathons and competitions like Nisarg's Road to Sustainability. And that is also going to be our major source of income for the first like 6-7 months. And eventually this sort of a plan for just 1 year. Eventually, we're also going to reach out to CSR fundings. Yeah, Kanshal, give it to Snigdha then.
Thank you, Vikas and Akanksha. So moving ahead, we have a scalability plan. So right now, like this is the first year where we will be expanding to, it's not 5, it is 2 cities, and 2 cities into 10 stores per city. So we can expect a 50% increase per month in the potential users that we'll be having. So the number of users that we expect is around 19K to 20K. The stores will be around 50. So approximate number of transactions that we'll be having is around 38,000, and we expect a profit of 7 lakhs. Now we also have a second year plan, but it's not mentioned in this slide. But in as Vikas already mentioned, in the second year, we expect we plan to reach out to 3 new cities, and accordingly the number of users and stores will be increased. Akanksha, next slide. Yeah, so we also identified what are the possible challenges and solutions. So it is a small target group, right? So heavy investment and promotion of organic food, healthy lifestyle, and creating awareness on connection between food, health, and climate crisis to sensitize as many people while promoting the use of our app. So this is like there is a heavy investment because organic food is very costly, and middle class people do not tend to prefer it. So that is one of the challenges that we'll be facing. As I also already mentioned, organic food is costly. And third, huge capex is required. So to take care of overshooting of budget, we will collaborate with organizations focused on skill volunteering to allow us to reduce the cost. So for our
time's up.
Okay, yeah. So
could you please sum it up within 60 seconds?
Yeah. I think we are already done, Akanksha.
You can cover this slide completely, Snigdha, then we'll be done.
Okay. Yeah, so these are the 3 challenges that we identified and the possible solutions for that. So in short, that we have this Green Grocer app, and we expect to move. We are currently in the research phase, and we will be developing this app in the coming months. And we expect a good partnership with many organic stores, and looking forward to your help. Thank you.
Thank you, Akanksha, Vikas, and Snigdha. It was a very interesting presentation. Let's move ahead to the Q&A round. So I'll start the timer now, and I request our judges to please unmute themselves and start asking questions.
So this is Bhaskar Natarajan. Thank you for the good presentation. I have basically 2 questions. One is, you are equating green grocery with organic grocery. Any reasons for that? Are they the same or are they different?
So we're looking.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take this
go
up.
ahead.
So we're looking at basically, so green groceries as a term we actually never discussed internally. We have been focusing only on organic groceries and organically sustainably produced products. So I would actually love to hear from you if what is the difference between these two, because we are not aware of it.
Green is more on the environmental side. It is used, which talks of very limited impact on the environment, right? And organic, I still don't know much about it. I know it is better than normal foods, but what is its impact on the environment? Is there some improvement? I don't know. One will have to do some more research to find out, but this is fine. It's your call and you have addressed it. It's just that this question might come back somewhere or the other at some stage. So you may want to do a little bit of research on this just to be aware of if there is a difference. The second point is more to do with the budgets. You've got very little money put towards the app development. Just go back to the budget slide if I recall. Yeah, you're talking of app development customization at 90,000 and web development customization at that. My reading is that this is far an underestimate, and I really don't know what is the basis of your judgment, because my limited experience says that this is definitely an underestimate. Any comments?
Yes, sir. So basically, app development and like there are a lot of people freelancers that are available online, and they have different price ranges in how they develop applications and like web applications or normal applications. So like since we are not having a lot of budget as of now, like capital as of now with us, so and the app development and web development is in the very initial phases of our plan. So if we have a budget, we might be improving, like you mentioned, the costs in that, but this is sort of a tentative plan for now.
Yeah, last question. You see, I don't want at the end of the year you people to say that, we didn't do this because of this, because of this. And therefore, it is very important for the funding agency to know what exactly is it that you're promising. Because you see, we have very limited knowledge and understanding. So it can be 1/4 of the full app, it can be half of the full app, or it can be the full app. So we, the funding people, would need to be very clear as to how much do you think you're going to deliver with the kind of budget you're talking.
Sir, as per our expectation, this is going to be full app. It's not going to be parts of the app. Eventually, we'll still be adding features based on how we identify what features are useful, what features are not. But when we talk about launching it into one of the cities, it's going to be a full app because we will not be able to launch it without full application.
Okay, just so that both of us are clear. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, Daisy.
Thank you, sir. I request our other judges to also ask questions, please.
Yeah,
thank
if
you.
I may just.
Yes, please, Rishi, you go on.
No, because I need to leave after 15-20 minutes, I have a presentation. So I just, if you can come to the budget slide, please. Yeah, I have a feeling that certain elements are kind of under budgeted, like partnerships. You have said cost per month is 10,000. Also related to that point is how much of time will the three of you be able to give into it? Because as I understand, you're already involved with certain engagements, because partnerships is really at the core. I mean, like Bhaskar raised a point about app development, but I feel that your supply chain linkages from where materials comes, or you'll be just doing arbitration, but whatever, that I think is a bit under budgeted. Second is that when you talked about scalability, you mentioned expected 50% increase per month and customers. I think if you can just come to that slide. But my experience also is that customers are not sticky in these kind of things. So they are very fickle. They can move from your platform to another. And it takes a long time to, I mean, having been involved with one exercise, I know that you do initial marketing and suddenly you feel euphoria, you get customers. But then those same customers don't tend to do repeat purchases. So those kind of things can be a bit challenging. So these were the thoughts I had in mind. If you can just share your answers to those.
Yeah, Kansha, can you go back to the previous slide about the scale budget? Yes, so majorly these are the partnerships like you mentioned. So these are partnerships with organic stores, and we are not going to give a lot of like when we reach out to them, it's going to be signing of like contracts with them and trying to understand what exactly they are into creating the like they want us to be part of. So we're still to do that part of research. Since I mentioned that it's already in second phase of part, we are still in the very first phase. So when we reach out to partners, we'll be having a better idea about what sort of partnerships they're looking for. But again, like you mentioned, this is sort of a tentative plan, and if that we have a better idea of what sort of partnerships they're looking for, then we might be updating this as well. For scalability, I think Snigdha can pick that up.
So, Smita, just give me 30 seconds. So before that also, like Sir has brought up a very valid point that all three of us are already full-time employees. So how will we be and how much time will be giving to it? So we are actually looking at hiring one associate per city as we scale so that they are able to get full-time to it. We have already hired one paid intern for the same project. So he has an exam today, that's why he's not on the call. But we have started thinking in that direction. Snigdha, you can take up the sustainability.
Yeah.
Skill.
So you were very rightly mentioned that the number of users might vary. So this is just like we were in the research phase, we were in the planning phase, and that is when we arrived at this number. But of course, you are very right that this number might change, and so our motive would be that we give them new incentives to remain in the app, like there will be new features in the app so that they remain attracted to it. But these are the challenges that we'll keep in mind for sure when we are in the development phase.
Thank you. That's it. I'm done. Dr. Thakur, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I think last two judges have already mentioned few challenges, and I had things that might help you further think over. So it is more about constructive feedback. First of all, of course, you have a lot of stakeholders, lot of partnerships, and probably they would be able to join you if only they have web pages at the moment, website, and they are not having web apps. Like you, many of them might be approaching them as a app developer, right? And they can make their own apps. So why
कुछ नहीं, बस छाछ है, ऐसे थोड़ा है आपके पास, बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, पानी है अपने पास.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption, ma'am.
Yeah, not to worry. So yes, probably it would be smart enough for you to say that you are developing a meta app, in the sense of, because you are going to several stores and bringing all the stores, so that would be a competitive app, and so it would be a meta app rather than just app. So that is the one thing. And also you can tell them, or you can maybe a shared revenue partnership, shared revenue partnership, in the sense of you will have to share some of the revenues between you two, so that you both can enjoy the benefits. So that is the one thing, and you will have to do that within your partnerships and stakeholders. Also, the authenticity is a bit question here, because they might say, yes, we are bringing from organic farmers and all that, and we know that at the end of those supply chain, we are not having enough data, we are not having enough authenticity, even the farmer don't know what they are earning. So how you are going to put that figure? So these challenges are there. However, you will be managed to do approximation with it. Secondly, rightly, I think Rishi said, yes, that how will you keep your customers minded? And Snigdha also mentioned about incentives. But here, I think you will have to, your app will be probably better off by, as you are showing the calories and the carbon emissions also. Are you showing carbon emissions also? I'm not sure about that, but you did mention about the calories. So probably the day by day, their own yeah, personalizing their own food and how they are progressing about, yes, you have these carbon emissions, yes. So this person, you will be saying that this much calories and this much ton carbon emissions, but are they going to be having the, daily rating, that how they are progressing and what benefits they are bringing to these SDGs directly? Are they contributing directly to SDGs? So, for example, they have done this CO2 ton so and so. If they have reduced in 1 month, then you can give them points or some sort of accreditation for that. Wow, you have contributed to SDG 13 in this 1 month for this by reducing this much carbon emissions. So this type of incentives might work. I don't say will work, but might work. So you will have to be more and more integrated within your app, because your app does have all this, which you have rightly identified, but still the integration between all these things are needed. And finally, of course, the budget is very low, and therefore all your strength should be in partnerships. Your strength, all you will have to have a very genuine partnership, and therefore I already mentioned that shared revenue model will work only if you want to go forward. So these are just my feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think you have really helped us with some insights that we could not have otherwise been able to come up with ourselves. So we'll definitely look through the points which you have shared, and we'll look at how we can rework the budget as well. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
So
you.
time's up. Thank you, Akanksha and team, for this wonderful presentation. Moving ahead, I'd like to invite Ajit Kumar Pallai and his team to present their business proposal, uses of eco-friendly products instead of single-use plastic to reduce pollution. Ajit, if you're here, please unmute yourself and start sharing your screen so that I can start the timer.
Hi, good afternoon all. Am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Busy? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, you are.
Let me share the screen. My slide is visible right now, Daisy?
Yes, it is. Do let me know whenever you're ready to start.
Definitely, just a second. So before going to actually start my presentation, I'll actually a small introduction by my teammates. So Bhagya, you are there, and Jeevan, you are there.
Hi Ajit, good afternoon. Hi everyone.
Good afternoon. And Bhagya? Hello. Hello.
He might be having some internet issue. I
Okay,
think
no issues.
Ajit, can you do,
Yeah, definitely.
do
We'll go ahead. Yeah.
Can you put
Deji,
the
All right, your time starts now.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bhagya, please.
Yeah.
So one of my team member is
Sorry
Bhagya
for
as well.
the internet connection. So
Okay,
this
no
side
issues.
from hello everyone. Good
So
afternoon.
Bhagya, just a second. I'll start by explaining things, and then after I'll come to you. Okay. So Deji, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So good afternoon all. My name is Ajit Kumar Pillai, and I am the founder and CEO of EcoSathi, and I belong to Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I have completed my graduation from IIIT Bhubaneswar. So before proceeding towards the presentation, a small introduction by my teammates. Please introduce yourself, Jivan.
Hi, my name is Jivan Jyoti Nayak, and I'm also pastor from IIIT Bhubaneswar. I'm currently working as a consultant in Bhubaneswar Smart City project, and I do have 4 years of experience in developing smart city components and websites and meaningful apps at a city level. So currently, I am working as a CTO of this company as well as along with some operation work along with Ojit.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bhagya, please introduce yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, uh, everyone. This side from Bhagyavaskar Singh Saman. I am the CEO of this company, and I am looking after this company as a marketing assets, like promote and sell the product and pursue the product to the customer. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So my theme is usage of eco-friendly products over single-use plastic so as to reduce the plastic pollution. The most important thing is the problem part. What is the problem actually? So plastic pollution is the major problem for all of us right now. Nowadays, it is very much dangerous that after plastic bags, plastic toothbrushes are the main causes of actually getting the pollution, getting the environment polluted. So it impacts our environment. Greenhouse gases are increased day by day, carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide. So and plastic brushes are not decomposed. This take actually more than 100 of years to get actually decomposed. So and each year 14 millions of plastic are gathered in the ocean, which causes actually death to the marine surface water species. And obviously it threatens the food security and quality and human health and coastal tourism as well, and contributes towards the climate, which is a very much bigger issue for the time being. And the most important thing is the microplastics are also being found in the lungs of human beings right now, which is very what we need to be we need to take precautions for the same. The solution, the utopia we have provided, we are mainly focusing on bamboo toothbrushes, and in addition to that, the daily consumable eco-friendly products so as to reduce the plastic pollution. We are also dealing with various eco-friendly products such as bamboo and savai grass, cotton bags, and jute bags. We have local artisans, and we are dealing with handicrafts products as well, so that the more and more involvement of local artisans could be used so as to actually their income level can be improved. That is the motto of our actually team. And we'll be creating an e-commerce platform wherein all these eco-friendly products would be sold, so that it will definitely what the minds of the people right now getting now transmitted from actually the plastic towards the eco-friendly products. So by using these things, the climate change can be reduced gradually. So the business model, if I talk about the business model for the timing, we are focusing upon B2B and B2C. So majorly focusing upon B2B because we have provided to so many retail shops and supermarkets in Bhubaneswar. We have approached to different hotels as well, like Swasti Premium and Vivan by Taj. So we have approached those hotels as well. We have also explored to pharmaceutical kind of med plus and a few other retail outlets as well, and dental clinics as well, so that our toothbrushes and all those eco-friendly products could be actually displayed and sold over there. And the most important thing is for the timing, we are also in totally included towards the offline sales, and based upon the orders we are dealing with the online sales as well. The ultimate goal for us is direct to consumer, which is the paramount of our I can say and if I talk about the products and services, we are a product-based company. In addition to that, we are dealing with various, as I already told you, various eco-friendly bamboo products, then savai grass products, jute bags, cotton bags. All these things, all these products are getting delivered to more than 2,500 pin codes across India. So we have already tied up with different logistics companies so that we can actually deliver these products direct to the consumers. So in addition to this, it is very much important for all of us how to get the sustainable development SDGs. Actually, this is very much important for all of us to as far as the environment is concerned. So we have identified the location for bamboo plantation. Actually, we have identified few locations so that we can actually do the plantation of bamboo trees, because bamboo trees always produces 35% of more oxygen as compared to the I can say the forest area or the jungle, which without same area, and it consumes more than 40% of carbon dioxide in the same area as well. In this way, we'll be able to achieve the 6 SDGs which are mentioned: good health and well-being, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, sustainable cities and communities, and the last one is climate action. So few of our pictures of bamboo products: toothbrushes, tongue cleaners, earbuds, combs, straw, bamboo soap case, speaker, pen, and these are the handbags, hanger, Porsche, bamboo hanging lights. These are bamboo hanging planter. This is a table lamp, the jute bags, cotton bags, and soy grass products. The bathtub product or service. So the idea came into picture in the year 2020 January, and then after we did our research, we have done so many, we explored things, we have done so many of research, so that actually we finalized, or we have gotten conclusion, and obviously we started our journey from 2021 March onwards. So on that period, during that period, we have found few artisans, like 2 to 3 artisans from Odisha. We are building products, and obviously these are being actually sold online and offline as well. So right now in 2022 ongoing, it is in progress, and currently we have actually increased the artisans, local artisans, 10 to 12 local artisans from Odisha itself, and 3 to 5 artisans from Northeast Tripura. The timing, why timing is very much important for us to actually to do things. The reason one is, this is the best time to actually get penetrated to the market, so as to make awareness about the climate change and organic lifestyle. This is very much important for all of us to know. And reason two is that people are gradually get to know actually the consequences of plastic pollution and the single-use plastics as well. Our products are very much greenery and good for them in their lifestyle, daily lifestyle. And the third reason is government is totally focusing upon for the timing to actually to transit from single-use plastics towards the eco-friendly products. So these are the 3 reasons why we have actually focused our for the timing. This is the most important thing for all of us to get penetrated to the market, and it will definitely have a impact. It will create definitely a sustainable future in the days to come. The traction value. So if I talk about the traction value, currently we are at pre-seed stage. Our shell in the last 1 year, we have a revenue of around 1 lakh. We are slowly growing, but by the help of your support, and definitely we will able to achieve. We have a figure for a revenue forecast in the next 1 year. 10 lakhs is the revenue forecast, and then next another year, this is the 40 lakhs, and the third year we will be able to, we are going to actually achieve around 1 crore of revenue. So this is our revenue forecast. So this is not the exact figure, obviously a tentative figure we have actually expected. So target market, if I talk about the target, there are 3 target markets we have actually focused upon. So the first one is opening few stores starting from Bhubaneswar, Odisha, or any other places based upon the feasibility across India for offline sales, because we are focusing right now offline. So obviously we are going to have the online market as well. So target market 2, those who are actually health conscious and eco-friendly, means inclined towards organic lifestyle, and people who are the range of between 20 to 50 years, because as we are providing toothbrushes, it starts from kids to adults. So we are providing toothbrushes from kids to adults. This is important for all of us to actually, the age range can vary from 20 to 50 years for bamboo toothbrushes especially. The target market 3 is we are also focusing towards the institution corporation for gifting purpose, and ultimately the target market would be the D2C, direct to consumer e-commerce platform, so is to actually cater towards the more reachable, and it can be easily scaled up to achieve things what we expecting. And a study showcased that 86% of the Indian consumers consume actually natural products, but 44% buy the products. So we'll focus upon 5% the 44% population. This leads to 2.85 crore of the people which are right now. We have we have a figure right now. We are focusing just 5% to 40%. And the market size is very big right now. In bamboo product, global market size is 53.3 billion US dollar. That is the total addressable market size age in 2020. And the US dollar by it is projected, it is expected that the TAM would be by 2020 around 83 US billion dollar. So this is a very huge number. So as far as the bamboo toothbrushes are concerned in India, by Indian brand Equity Foundation, it has been proven, or it has been expected that the bamboo toothbrush market in India would be 7,000 crore. Right now it is 5 to 6,000 crore. By within few years it will be 7,000 crore. So this is the TAM for bamboo toothbrushes. If I talk about the 57 crore, because we are focusing upon 44% of the, so 57 crore people buy eco-friendly products as per survey. So bamboo toothbrushes, we are selling it 40 rupees. So serviceable available market SAM will be 20 to 80 crore. And focusing on 10%, that is 2.85 crore people with bamboo toothbrushes, that is 40 rupees. It will be a serviceable, obtainable market is 114 crore, which is a good number for us to actually get started. So the revenue model, if I talk about the revenue model, we have focused to cater towards 1.5 lakh of people from both offline and online sales for the next 3 years. We have kept the price is 40 rupees, and the total revenue would be like 60 lakhs from bamboo toothbrushes. In addition to that, we have actually a variety of products. So we have actually kept the price. We will definitely going to achieve 40 lakhs from the next 3 years. So around 1 crore of revenue for the next 3 years from both online and offline sales. If I talk about the competitor, obviously direct competitors are there, which are Beko, Lupify, TerraBrush, and Namaste Bamboo, and EcoHigh. These are the few eco-friendly platforms. And indirect competitor, the manufacturer itself, because they may create monopoly themselves, so that actually. But as far as the bamboo toothbrushes are concerned, obviously we have a tie-up with one of the India's best manufacturer, because we do not have that much of money to actually start the manufacturing. For the timing, we have tied up with them, but obviously by the help of your support, definitely we may be able to actually set up a manufacturing plant, so that we'll be able to achieve the figures in the years to come. So the second indirect competitor is any international players with very low costing of products. So the team we have already introduced. So future roadmap, there are 4 steps we have actually categorized. The step 1 will be the product development. In terms of product development, like the new products and refining the existing products. Initial sales would be like mostly offline and few offline, few online as per order. Step 2, in this phase, we are focusing more towards involvement of more and more local artisans, so as to produce the quality products. And as far as the technology is concerned, obviously we are going to focus on the website progression, other marketing aspects, and we want to open some outlets, offline outlets, in this step 2. Step 3, we are solely focused on the branding and sales part as well, and fully inclined towards online, and few offline. Will be actually dealing with B2B as well. Though we are going to deal with all those to consumers, but B2B would also be part of that. In step 4, the bamboo plantation, in the next year we are planning to do the bamboo plantation. So we have identified the location, so we'll be able to achieve the milestones and fulfill our SDGs. So we'll create the employment generation as well by the help of local artisans and farmers. So funding requirement, I have mentioned phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs. By the help of these are the 4 steps we'll be able to achieve by the help of your support. And these are the applicable SDGs for EcoShati. We have 6, as I have already explained.
Your time's up, Ajit. Please sum it up within 60 seconds.
Yeah, this is the second last slide. So these are the 6 sustainable development goals, and how to achieve and how to get these sustainable development goals I have already mentioned in the proposal, and I have attached in this slide as well. So thank you so much from my side. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajit and team. It was a wonderful presentation. Moving ahead to the Q&A round, I request our judges to please unmute themselves and start asking questions.
Yes, hello, this is Bhaskar Natarajan. My question is more to do with whatever products you are developing. How do you believe that these are going to be positive contributors to the environment? And then
Actually asked a valuable question. We will definitely because we have already actually figured out what are the certification from as far as eco-friendly products are concerned. So there are 2 to 3 certificates. So we are going to apply for the application, so that will be we may be able to obviously we'll be able to get it, but we are going to apply for the same, for the certification parts for these eco-friendly products.
May I, Ajit?
Yeah,
To add on that, so currently, sir, as you know that we are doing the toothbrush part is only we are white labeling. So the manufacturer who is providing this toothbrush have already those certifications and those parameters that it will not harm to our health. But the USP of this products is we have a lot of good artisans in Odisha. That what we are trying to do here is we are trying to promote those artisans onto a platform where all those people can directly purchase the products through our site or through channelizing us to the from the artisans. But the problem here, the biggest problem what we found is throughout the year there are only 2 to 3 fairs are going on, which is national. You have heard about Tosali Mela and all. So there is a certain time window through which people are able to buy those products. What we are trying to do here is we are trying to open that window throughout the year, so that whenever any consumer wants to buy those products, whether it may be bamboo, whether it may be jute, sabai gas products, any of those products, that it will be available throughout the year, and those artisans will get benefited.
Thank you so much, Jivan. Bhaskar sir, I think we actually have answered your question.
yes, I think you should go ahead and get the certifications. And even if your people have them, you should be able to display those certificates. Go ahead.
Correct, sir. Definitely. Thank you so much.
Okay, I don't know if I am a bit confused. Can you just stop your sharing your first of all,
sorry,
your
screen?
Thank you. Right. I don't know if I am I was not clear or I was not attentive. I'm not so I'm confused. What are you trying to do here? Are you trying to just do the production of brushes, or you are trying to set up a platform for brushes, or the whole range of these eco-friendly products? Please be clear with 1, 2 things. What are you trying to do, first of all?
Ma'am, we are focusing upon a variety of eco-friendly products, but our USP is bamboo toothbrushes. So we are going to create a marketplace. Obviously, for the timing, we do not have that much of fund to manufacture these bamboo toothbrushes. So it needs around crores of rupees for the infrastructure setup and the machinery part as well. So we are going to create a marketplace so as to actually get sold all these eco-friendly products.
So you want to start with a bamboo brush and then go to the eco-friendly products. That is what you are saying.
Right.
First
Right.
of all, with the bamboo brush, at least for just the brush, whole over the world, there is a revolution of having an electronic brush because these simple brushes are not good for health of your teeth. How are you going to get a market for a toothbrush? First of all, handmade, like a handheld brush. That is the biggest question here.
Ma'am, as far as the electronic toothbrushes are concerned, for the timing, their prices are very huge, and as we are focusing upon India right now, because affordability, and we are focusing upon the target market, which are right now affordable in nature. Our process are very much affordable with organic bristles. This is totally what I can say. The bristles are organic, and the handle is totally I can say decomposed at all, because as far as
I understand
yeah.
the organic part of it. I am with you that yes, instead of plastic brush, organic brush like the bamboo brush are definitely helpful to the environment. Also there is a market for that. But however, for the handheld toothbrush, which I mentioned, there is no market in future. That is, you need to understand. And therefore, probably it will be good to start with the variety of the artisans which you mentioned. Probably that would be a better aspect rather than just focusing on a toothbrush. I don't think your USB for toothbrush would work for long. It might be, but you don't know, because I have seen the revolutions with the Colgate. When I was in school, there was a revolution for Colgate and everyone in the world changed their toothbrush to Colgate toothbrush immediately within 6 to 12 months. So you don't know what big companies can come up with. So it will be in your benefit to start with the full artisans. Again, there is a question which you mentioned. Are you going to just be a distributor of that supply chain which is already there? Or are you having an independent things? Because people go to buy just as on the Google, I want to buy something, right? They are not good. People are not aware whether that is organic or non-organic. You will have to put the organic things along with the non-organic things and show that you can buy these also at the same time, just by spending few money and have some more impact on, like lessen your impact on environment. So how will you be doing that? That is the interest here, rather than having a whole channel separate. Because if I don't know, if I don't have that in my mind that I want to buy a eco thing, why would I just, because that is the lack of awareness in the people, that they would specially go and buy eco things. You have to put both the things together to show them either this or this, and they can find out. So is there anything that you are thinking, or you are just, because you just now Jibanyani Nayak mentioned that you are going to have only the same platform, and you have rightly identified those problems, because you said that there is a specific window and does not give the full exposure to the people, and you are going to have that window for the whole year. But however, no one knows that there is a window there. There is no awareness of that. So how you are going to deal this problem?
May I, ma'am?
Yeah, please, Ivan, please proceed.
Yeah. Ma'am, you have rightly mentioned all the things that yesterday only I was discussing the same thing with Ajit. Ki what is the future of this brush? However, Oral-B or Colgate have introduced electric brushes recently. So, ma'am, what we have found in the last couple of years from the market, that yes, there is a significant amount of people who are using those electric brushes, but the major people who are using still the plastic brushes. The first step we realized to introduce people that yes, this product exists, the bamboo toothbrush exists, when we showed them in the multiple locations and we interacted with multiple people. People are very happy that yes, this product even exists, what you have mentioned earlier. So along with this product, we are also mentioning what are the health benefits with this particular product, because this product, you have rightly said, yes, this product may not sustainable, or may big player would come and we may wipe out. But the thing is, what we are trying to do here is we are introducing bamboo as a unique product, because Odisha is a place where plenty of bamboo can be produced. So those people who are creating multiple products with those bamboos are not visible to the throughout the country, or they have not any channels to introduce their products to the people. So that is why we come up with this particular idea that we will have to introduce these unique products and to sell people throughout the country, so throughout the state or throughout the district. So we take it as a step, and we took it as a step, and we first focused on the district level, which gave at least a very significant figures, that why our product is very valuable to certain customers. Because when a person is coming to the market and asking for a toothbrush, in his mind he is very clear that I am going to give 10 rupees and I will get that simple Colgate brush. But when we introduced this product is 20 or 40 rupees and it has the significant benefits, he took it, ma'am. And many women who come to us and saw those products and came to know about the health benefits, they took it, ma'am. And the because in this market, the price factors for the last couple of months, the experience of the price really matters. So that is why we're trying to reduce the price as much as possible with the same same health benefits with these particular products, keeping the standards of those products. So it is a for us, it is a benchmark for us that yes, people are accepting this product at this price. So in future there is a very high chance that we may think of that electric motor or that electric functionality can be put into this bamboo toothbrush that we are currently seeing in this plastic toothbrush. As I was checking, the prices of this electric brush is like somewhere between 1,000 rupees. So who is going to put 1,000 rupees in these electric brushes? The percentage is like less than 5%. But what we are targeting here is those people who are able to buy this particular segment of the process, who will come to market with thought of mind that I will buy a brush with 20 rupees. We can expect that he can spend additional 10 or 20 rupees for that brush, for what value he is getting back. So for us, yes, it is there in the plan, but not now, ma'am.
It would be better if you target, as you said, district level, target all the local authorities, and maybe, they give these presents on some occasions, and they give pens and other things. Rather, probably it will be better to give brushes in Diwali.
May
I think we will be running out of the time, but thank you very
Yeah,
much.
ma'am.
I have
Thank you so much.
challenged you a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Time's up. Ajit and team, thank you for your presentation. We had a great time interacting with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I had one more question for Ajit.
Yeah, yes, sir, please.
So Ajit, can you explain me about your the profit margin or those areas? Because I don't think that's something you covered.
Yeah, so basically the time was off actually. So the gross profit margin, as far as the profit margin, because the gross profit margin for the timing, we have around 30 to 35%, and then net profit margin is around 15 to 18%. 15, around 15%, around 15%.
And other thing was like you planning to establish a factory which will cost at least 1 crore.
Yeah, sir. Actually, we have identified the location for the bamboo plantation, but the one of the location is there in other districts. If we could actually find it out, so that we'll be able to establish our factory and manufacture the toothbrushes as soon as possible, because it needs huge amount of money to get invested, and the machinery part, the infrastructure part, the manpower, the resources, everything is there coming into picture.
And how big is the area that you're targeting?
Sure. Right now, as I had mentioned, we have a tie-up with one of the biggest manufacturer. But by the help of your support, if Nisarg can actually help us to actually for us for funding kind of activity, then obviously we'll be able to achieve it in the months to come or years to come.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chirag sir. Thank you, Ajit and team. Moving ahead to our next team, I'd like to invite Akhilesh Anil Kumar to present his idea, The Future of Fashion by Prolo Fashion Private Limited. Akhilesh, do let me know whenever you're ready. We can start the
Hi,
timer.
can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I can just share my screen. But before that, I'd like to introduce myself. Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to apologize because my team members couldn't make it because there was actually an issue with I was not able to receive the emails, and today only I could see the email. So it was quite short notice, and then I couldn't get the team on board right now for the call. I will be introducing my team as well in the meanwhile. My name is Akhilesh Anil Kumar. I have been working in the space of climate justice, climate activism, and with circularity for the past 4 years. I have founded an organization called Bring Back Green Foundation, which works in the southern part of India in Kerala, and we have various branches of operation, but maybe in developing policy recommendations for the government of Kerala, as well as sustainability, circularity, waste management. So we have been in operation for around 3 years, and we have worked with various central government and state government authorities, as well as international agencies like the United Nations. We have worked with various people, and I have personally worked on various projects as well, which deals with sustainability and how we can transform. Yeah.
Hello, Akhilesh.
Hello,
Are you sharing the slides at all?
No, I haven't started yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry for that. Yeah, coming back to it. So I have had an experience of around 4 years. I have also worked on application development, mobile application developments for my organization, which was not exactly in e-commerce, but it was for climate education development for the state of Kerala. So with that, my background for the team is we have currently 3 other members. One is a mobile application and web developer who has had various experiences working with multiple companies and organizations. He was a freelancer, but he is currently working with us. Another person is a marketing manager. He currently is a marketing manager at a company abroad in Qatar. Sustainability for over years.
Voice is going in and out.
organization. The person is a consultant. She is my voice audible? Hello, am I audible?
Akhilesh, your network is unstable.
Daisy, can you hear me?
Yes, but your voice is breaking in between. I can hear you now, but
should I turn off my camera? Would that help?
Yeah, that should help.
Hello. All right. Really sorry for that. So with that, I'll just start sharing my screen. So just give me 1 second. Can you see my screen now?
yes, it's visible, Akhilesh. Can we start the timer?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, please start.
All right. Thank you. Sorry for the mishaps. I went through my introduction again. So, Prolove Fashion Private Limited is a startup that's based in Bangalore. Currently, we have been in operation for a time. We have been engaging with a lot of organizations and also launched our first collection. I'll just in the industry is the industry we're trying to make and then going into the Southeast Asian markets. I'll just start with the problem statement where we have something that we all know about is how damaging and deteriorating the fashion industry is right now. Our total fiber output just being incinerated or being disposed in landfill. And I'm just talking about this one specific data because this is going to be relevant in the upcoming slides, which is around 181 gram of CO2 is emitted per single item returned in an online purchase. Then we have around 70 million barrels of oil being used every year in the production of polyester fibers for with that, what we are trying to aim is the reduction of and the clothes that go through the Prolove system. We are trying to save around 13.48 kilogram of carbon dioxide per kilogram that's going through the cycle involved in the Prolove platform. With that, it's not just circularity that I'm trying to address. So this is, I believe in intersectionality, and I explained it much in my introduction before, but I have been working on many intersectional problems related to climate change.
Sorry to interrupt, Akhilesh. Could you speak a bit louder? Your voice is cracking
issues
through.
that I have been dealing closely with gender as a fashion industry. With issues such as can you hear me much
No,
better?
we can't hear you at all. It's very bad, the connection.
Just give me
kind of fluctuating very much.
I'll just reconnect.
Akhilesh, we can move on to the next scene. You can come back, change your network and try at the end maybe.
Hello? Basically, is it better now?
Yes, a little.
Okay, can I continue or should I try to reconnect again?
Maybe you can reconnect. I think your voice is still not the best right now.
Yes.
Uh, just give me a minute. I'm trying to reconnect.
Akhilesh, I request you to please try to reconnect with a stable network. We can move ahead with the next team in the meantime, and you can continue at the end. So before we do move on to the next team, I'd like to introduce one of our judges, who is Mr. Aritra Chakraborty. He has had more than 8 years of experience in sustainability consultancy, and he has keen knowledge in project management involving SDG goals. So sir is here. I request Aritra sir to kindly unmute himself and say a few words for our participants.
Yeah, hello everyone, and hello the esteemed panel of judges. I have been trying to join in on these pitch days, but either due to time difference or some other conflicting issues of interest, I have been unable to. Finally, I could make it today, and I would like to congratulate all the participants for making it so far. Regardless of the outcomes of the pitch days, you should know that please do carry on your efforts, because that is the real value, and someday or the other you will receive the resources that you aspire for. So yeah, good luck to all.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. So moving ahead to our next team, I request Shivrao Challa to kindly turn on his camera and try sharing his screen so that we can start the timer. He'll be presenting his business proposal 3R Zero Waste.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Shiv. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Shiv Rao, and I'm born and brought up in Calcutta. I'm a student of St. Xavier's College. Post that, I did my BTech in computer science from JNTU Hyderabad. Thereafter, I used to work for BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited in Delhi, and I worked with them for 7 years. And post that, I left India to work in Nigeria, wherein I was working for ExxonMobil. And post that, I have been working almost in 12 countries over the last 18 years. And I decided in 2020 to come back to India and work on Clean India projects. And that's the birth of 3R Zero Waste. My colleague, Mr. Ashish.
Hi, my name is Ashish Sharma. From educational background, I have done my mechanical engineering from Subhati Vivekananda University. I have previously worked in DRDO as a junior research fellow, and now I have joined 3R Zero Waste Management team. Over.
So thank you, esteemed panel and judges. So this startup talks about the waste management specifically, and this picture shows the enormous problem we have created since independence in India. So today, India is burdened with almost 1.8 billion tons of legacy waste, and we produce close to 80 million tons every year, out of which only 60% is collected, and out of that 60%, only 50% is processed. So we are actually, adding to this problem day to day in our normal life. Other than that, India produces 3.2 million tons of electronic waste, out of which only 16% is recycled. And unfortunately, every day, one life is being given away because of electronic waste and the hazardous materials in the electronic waste. So that is the reason I've started this company. Initially, first I had my own electronic waste plant in Gurgaon, Manesar. So waste is a global crisis, and the linear resources disposal, take, make, and dispose will never be able to solve this. So for this purpose specifically, while I am working on electronic waste and municipal solid waste, I have understood that capital huge capital investments will not be able to grow my company to the level where I would like to see in the next 3 to 5 years. So at this point of time, I have started developing a product, mobile application for rewarding citizens for sustainable gestures. So that is the where we are working on today. So when I mean gestures, it means that segregation of waste, which is one of the key problems in India today. The government municipal solid waste 2016 talks about 2 dustbins, green and blue. Green is for organic waste and blue for dry waste. Unfortunately, 99.9% people don't follow this. And there are only majorly 2 reasons for this. Either there's a lack of awareness or there is lack of infrastructure. So my company, we are trying to bring that to solutions to the individual citizens. So gestures like segregation of waste. If somebody is getting using 1 dustbin, he get 1 point. Somebody is using 2 dustbins, he get 2 points. Somebody using 4 dustbin, he get 4 points. Then selling of waste to the waste management agencies authorized by the municipal corporation, buying of recycled and upcycled products, doing home composting, doing upcycling at home, using energy efficient actions, and using carbon footprint reduction. So post this, once I do this in my projects, once I have a good number of traction and I have a lot of customers, I would like to bring my fellow entrepreneurs into the sustainable space where I could sell these products, whatever points they are gaining through my application, they can sell it through my application and buy sustainable products only. And then we also give a very unique data reporting for the ULBs, which they are supposed to have this data. How is my sector 1 doing with respect to sector 5? Today in India, no ULB has that sort of data demographics. So the total TAM for this particular project is 4.8 trillion US dollars. The SAM is 75 billion US dollars. And the serviceable obtainable market, where we am focusing on electronic waste, batteries, plastic, and other solid waste, is close to 10 billion US dollars. So the present MVP is at a very nascent stage, and I've done with only a couple of interns who have been in this project, and very soon I've applied for a couple of grants and startup seed fund, wherein I'm looking forward to take it to a next level by contracting, offloading this project. So the first screen is, it goes to a screen where it's said that, okay, welcome Roshan, you have so many points, you are in the green band or orange band or red band based on the amount of carbon footprint you have. And then he goes to the majorly, electronic waste, plastic waste, which people want to get disposed. And then the sustainable actions is the other factor. So once he gets into e-waste, it comes, a screen comes wherein he can add and remove whatever items he wants to dispose. So per every item, he gets the equivalent amount of rupees as well as equivalent amount of points. Similarly with plastic, the most interesting part would be this sustainable gestures. How would I capture that? So I am in touch with a lot of people across the world. I have almost 20 plus countries who are supporting me in terms of innovation, and Ashish and my other mentors. So we are trying to see how a person traveling from Connaught Place to Hudko in Gurgaon, if he's traveling by metro, he's not using his own car, how can we incentivize? How can we develop an application to monitor and get this data either through geotagging or through artificial intelligence or through interacting with the DMRC application? Similarly, if somebody is using 4 dustbins, how do we capture this data using optical sensors or any other mechanism or audit based on my people working in that particular building? So the revenue model is by the sale of waste. That is when people see, they think it's exactly anybody selling the waste. So selling the waste is 20% of this business of what I'm trying to do, and then getting commission with respect to the e-commerce platform and supporting the other sustainable partners, getting challenges using these funds, wherein we want to develop corporate CSR funds. Dabur and Coca-Cola, they always have these sort of challenges to bring solutions to the society. So, and then advertisement in the applications, if at all we can grow it to that level. The sales and distribution would be through the mobile application and through the e-commerce and through the e-learning. So Again, e-learning is also a part of the application, wherein they will be getting points for taking actions. And just 2 days back, I had a meeting with one of the gentlemen from US who has developed a gamified experience for driving. So we are discussing with him how we can bring those cultural habit changes into the people by this gamified application. My average account size would be, for the e-commerce between 500 plus, and the B2C customer would be around 5,000 rupees, and B2B customers, which I will showcase, I have 40 plus customers as when we speak, and they are at a range of 1 lakh. And my pricing model in terms of profits, the range of, when we buy scrap, and sometimes people donate as well. It's a lot of sustainable people. So we have a margin of 90% to 50% of the, things which we get. And the pricing model also, when we go and compete, even though we are below 10% below the market, people prefer us because we have a model where, all this analytics of how the person is taking care of Mother Earth and the whole building, how they are managing, all that facilities are available with us. So brief in terms of competitor, if I say sustainable actions at a B2C level, no, I don't see any app available in the whole world. The closest is somewhere in Madrid. Two young students have developed, and they have majorly work on B2B platform. So other competitors in India are kabadiwala.com. Trashin.com is a SaaS model where he works with again B2B specifically, and they're also localized. Like Trashin is in Bangalore, and Kabadiwala, I think they are now in 4 cities. So brief SDG impact for the first couple of financial years. We are working on SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. So one of my 1,500 square feet of infrastructure, which I have developed, I call in, I have interns from IITs and IIMs and other top universities. They come in and we create something from waste. So that is some sort of innovation we are trying to bring, and we have great ideas which we want to develop in future. SDG 11, we have managed close to, in these last 18 months, 120 tons of waste, e-waste, municipal solid waste, paper and cardboard, plastic. So all this type of waste we have been managing, and we have spread the core thing. What we have achieved majorly is we have spread awareness of segregation of waste to 240,000 people through various events throughout the year. SDG goal number 12, we have created responsible consumption and production. So we have created an MVP for rewarding citizens for sustainable actions, for recycling, upcycling of different sustainable products. And then partnership. So I am one of the global ambassadors for Industry 5.0, which is a Czech Republic based. Michael Rada is the founder, and I am the first global ambassador in the world. And today we have 92 countries supporting that concept. And I also mentor 4 startups in the e-waste circle. Electronic waste specifically, India has 470 e-waste recyclers, but only 20% are ethical and actually doing the work. So out of that 20%, 80, so it comes to 80, a number of 80, 10 of them are very strongly built big companies. Yes, I got 5 more minutes. So big companies, leaving the first 10, the second 10, we are among those companies who have been created a brand, and people know us. I have been invited to multiple events as a speaker in waste management. So in terms of fund requirement, the first, the yellow column, I have already invested close to 1 CR in this project, which includes 50 lakhs of machinery and 50 lakhs of working capital for running the show for the last 18 months. So the next requirement, my need is almost 50 lakhs, for which I'm planning to build up robotic based waste segregation, which is being done by a startup in Hyderabad. We are supposed to sign an MOU today. I believe that we can increase the efficiency of plastic segregation and dry waste, because my dry waste is very good quality waste, as I have contracts with the RWS. The next 15 lakhs would be used in the working capital for the next 6 months, by which we'll be ready for a VC funding, and amount of 5 lakhs for marketing and 10 lakhs for mobile application development. And the right hand side, in the last 2021, we had a revenue of 10 lakhs, And we have got this financial year 40 lakhs. We made 2 lakhs profit last year, and this is still under calculation. We will make around 8 lakhs of profit. And clients, we had 4 in last year. We just started in December 20. So this year we have got almost 42 plus clients. Awareness was 10,000 people. We have done 2,40,000 people in this financial year. And we have an order book of clientele with 42, almost 80 lakhs of order books in terms of, business we could do. We would be able to manage 700 tons this financial year. And we hope by next year we will doubling this numbers. So the social impact we would bring, which I had my vision in starting, is 5,300 people by 2024. It might be like we have delayed by 1 year because of COVID, which will have 100 plus entrepreneurs from underprivileged citizens. And we'll be closely managing so much tons of waste. So these are my 40 plus sustainable companies who have come across. And this week has been great. We'll be closing 4 contracts, and companies like Fortune 500, 1E, Munjal Kiru, Subros, Hitachi. These are my clients. I have been awarded. I'm the only company which has been awarded from Municipal Corporation of Manesar for ethical recycling with this. And I'm an advisor to Municipal Corporation of Faridabad. And I'm a CII award winner for 3R Zero Waste. So these are my brief social work which I do and awareness. So this is on the left, Visakhapatnam. We went inside the ocean and cleared the marine litter. And very soon we'll be doing that same in Kerala. These are my all different documents which we have able to generate during the COVID. I was not getting more business, but I focused to get all the documentation, and we are ready with everything. This is my leadership team. And I believe that collaboration is equal to innovation. I always see that collaboration with the other startups today who came up in the platform, and I look forward for more questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiv, for this wonderful presentation. So we still have 1 minute and 34 seconds left in your presentation round, which we will be adding to the Q&A round. So moving ahead, I'll start the timer, and I request our judges to please unmute themselves and start asking questions.
This is Bhaskar Natarajan. Thanks so much. Interesting presentation. Wasn't very clear to me in terms of how you are going to be using the budget, and what exactly is it that we would be achieving at the end of the 12 months, and how do you plan to carry on after that?
Right, sir. So as I said, the machinery is 20 lakhs, so we are trying to buy a robotics and having a conveyor belt. And I have 3 bays in my present premises. So 1 bay is not being utilized maximum. So and I'm expecting 5 contracts, because recently I have got approval from Municipal Corporation. And based on that support and no other vendor being approved as of date, I feel that 5 premium societies I will be getting contracts, which I have been following up for the last 6 months. So my motivation there is, presently segregation is not happening. So I have a contract of spreading the awareness to them and making them getting segregated from 50%, 60%, and so on. The performance of segregation increases, my quality of waste coming to my plant would be very good quality. So then I use this robotics to segregate further. The revenue would be very good revenue in that particular model. And coming back to the working capital, I will be using this in terms of creating my manpower, my vehicles for this particular project. And yeah, that is how we'll be getting very good revenues, because and I'm also working with an NGO, means my own NGO, wherein we are getting an informal sector at a very good lifestyle, which I'm working with McKinsey. A project is being presented. I hope we get that.
Thank you. But in terms of at the end of 1 year, what is going to be your target or achievement in terms of capacity, in terms of actual output and revenues?
Right. So, sir, in terms of the mobile application, the model, what I'm doing is, when I take a society of 500 flats, so I see in the contract that all these people, by default, have to use my app for their daily, the sale of the waste. So that will be a part of my contract. So once they are on my platform, I will be able to, push them to various e-learning things, what I want to give, the selling of the other waste, which generally people keep in their houses. So they will be pushed through my WhatsApp to my platform. And so the rotation will be more, which people are generally, little bit lazy and keeping at their houses. So this is how I believe that, the traction will happen. And I don't see that all 500 flats will bring, but I would say 75% will be my customers. And based on our brand today, Pan, Gurgaon and Manesar, we have a very good, in terms of, top 3-4 companies we are standing today. So we have been approached by UNDP, GIZ, we are working with them, and very soon I'm working with the municipal corporation to give us a land to set up one of the unique MRFs based on what small model, pilot model I'm planning.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, I think, yeah, Chirag, please go on.
No, I think it's a very thoughtful project, and one of the main aspect that the revenue model that you explained is like kind of a bit confusing at this moment. So,
right. So, sir, yeah, the revenue model. So when we buy waste from the people, so as I said, even though we are giving 10% less, people will be bound to give us because we are the only sustainable. They will not compare us with the kabadi wala. When the margin is only 10% and you're giving quite a good value for this, and you have a contract with the whole society. So generally, the society don't allow other vendors to come inside. If at all we get that part of my contract. So, and the margins we have once we dismantle or in the electronic waste, or once we get the dry waste and segregate, the margins are between 50%, close to 50%. And I have tied ups within the best of the industries because 18 months, I know where to sell my LDP. I know where to sell my HDP. So this market, I've been 18 months, I'm connected with the top people, top companies who give the best value. So not like a kabadi wala, he sells to one more guy, he sells to one more guy, and then it reaches to the end buyer. So now I've established those margins. So that is how we are able to get better margins.
Cool. Dr. Renuka, you can go.
Thank you very much. Yes, my question was like when you mentioned about 42 clients, are they all B2B or B2C?
All B2B, ma'am. As of now, said the app is still under MVP. I have not gone out, and it is not even ready to go out. So B2C, at this moment, I get as a donation. So I have almost 20 clients, which they give by themselves. They approached me, Shiv, we have segregated waste. Can you help us? So I have done that for them.
Okay, and how will you ensure, like when you mention in your app, the clients will put into segregation, like into the different categories, how will you ensure that they have done that? Are you going to be there? I mean, how will you ensure?
Right, ma'am. So in terms of technology, I have two solutions. One is I'm trying to see the technology, how I can use optical sensors in their houses, in the dustbins. And generally what my idea is, I go and audit the whole premises and I suggest where to keep the dustbins. Let's say orange and the green in the kitchen, the blue in the study room, and the red in the balcony. So this is one way, and in terms of technology, I'm not sure today. But the other way is my people will be going and collecting the waste as well. So if they are not able to do a proper segregation, I will know out of the 19 floors, which flat has not given the proper waste.
That is a bit difficult because here, I think in UK, we have these recycling centers and we have apartments and we do recycling. It is very difficult. And at this moment, even if this movement is there from last 30 years now, we are having 85% of our waste contaminated. It never comes as you wish that it should be as clean as possible. And even though people are educated. So that is biggest challenge I think you have to ensure whether it is, and so the basic thing puts a problem there. Again, then with the Kabaddi Wada, you said they have chains and chains, but they are able to go to people anytime and so on. And for you, probably it will be happen that people will have to book you in, and then you will get in there. And so there will be a lack of time, which I don't think people would appreciate. And so they will just go to Kabaddi Wala instead to coming you. Is there anything where you have thought about it?
Yes, ma'am. So as I said, when I have these contracts with the society, the nowadays most of societies have electronic entry. So the coming into the society is very difficult nowadays. Like My Gate and other applications are there. So once I have a contract, my people are stationed every day in the society. So I am more accessible than a Kabaddi Wala. The Kabaddi Wala has to travel 5 kilometers to 2 kilometers. But my people are every day in the premises at particular slot of time. So
will that be voluntary then? You will have to pay for that.
No. So my contract is to collect the dry waste. So when my people are there to collect the dry waste, so my people are already there. And then I know through the app, suppose there are 10 houses who wants to give waste. So my people, after they finish their routine job, they will go, and my vehicle is also there. So they will go and collect the waste and transport to my facility.
Who will tell you that they are ready to dispose?
This application. My application will tell me.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think still your idea needs to be more robust. Of course, the potential is very high. But again, there are these things which you haven't applied yet, isn't it? They are in idea.
Yes, and I said, a couple of societies, ladies have already started. They started with 2 women, then they made that 20 women. Now they are for 50 women. So those societies are the premium segment, which already sustainable people are living. And that is how I was thinking to make this platform, but I see now the customers are also ready.
Yes, and you were also mentioned that you have mentioned 2 things, app and WhatsApp. So is that the same things?
No, ma'am, no WhatsApp. I didn't mention WhatsApp. It was only app.
Okay, you did at one point of time. That's why I was confused too.
Maybe, no, not WhatsApp.
So, I mean, I don't mind either of them. The thing is that, do you have a beta version of your app that you can? You said you already have a beta version.
Yeah, it's a not beta version. I'm not yet happy because the UI UX is not ready. The mobile application with certain only for electronic waste is ready. But maybe in a week or 10 days, I'll be ready because my contracts will be signed and I want to push and get the customer feedback before, at least we go ahead.
Also, I'm not so happy with the robotic segregation on the other hand, because is it not possible to have a manual segregation?
So, ma'am, see, at the end of the day, it's business, and my efficiency would be increased by 8 times. And
but that will give a loss of work job to people.
Yes, so, yeah. So I was in awareness program with one of my prospective clients where we were giving the awareness to the ladies, and the community manager was explaining in Gurgaon. Unfortunately, it's no discrimination. Bengalis and Assamese are bought in, and in Gurgaon, that community only works on the waste. No other community works. So we were asking if those people are not available, will the Haryana people start working? And the answer was no. So if at all, we are able to create a good living and at the same time create, even in my plant, people will be required. Today, the person who came, his son is like 5 years old. His son is 10 years old and he is working. So I will take care of those people when I'm coming up with a community project with them. So I would not say they will lose job. They will be taken care in some other jobs, like a driver in my premises. And even then, robotics, I will be needing 2 people at 2 ends. So yeah, there will be reduction, but I feel that, these things where other people don't want to work, it should be more of mechanized.
Your time's up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you, Team 3R0 Waste. It was a very interesting presentation. So we can go back to Akhilesh Anil Kumar. Akhilesh, are you here? Would you be able to present your business proposal, The Future of Fashion?
Yeah, can you hear me now better?
Yes.
Yes, it's better.
All right. Shall I start from the beginning or should I continue?
Yes, I'll start the timer again.
Okay. Should I introduce myself again? Just asking. Was it not clear the last time?
I think that won't be necessary. Judges, would you like an introduction again?
No, we are fine. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Do let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we start.
Hi, judges. Sorry for the mishap before. I think my connection is much better now. So what I was trying to introduce you to was ProLove Fashion. So ProLove Fashion Private Limited is a company based out of Bangalore. It has been in operation for the past 4 months, but it has been in ideation and development stage for over a year. We are trying to work on implementing circularity in fashion and all the different elements of sustainability that involves in the supply chain of the fashion industry. And right now, we started off with our first collection that was completely sustainable, and we are looking forward to expanding into a lot of other areas of sustainability within the fashion industry, which I'll be explaining later on. I'll just briefly go over through the problem within the fashion industry and climate. We have around 87% of total fiber output in the fashion industry being incinerated or disposed. And this one specific data I am trying to bring up because it has relevance later on in the slides, which is around 181 gram of carbon dioxide is being emitted per single item which is being returned through the e-commerce platforms, and around 70 million barrels of oil a year are being used to make polyester fibers in our clothes. What we are trying to achieve right now is around 13.48 kilograms of CO2 saved per kilogram of textile that goes through the ProLove platform and the ProLove fashion application. Along with the sustainability part of it, I am clearly focused on another social area, which is gender in the fashion industry. And for that, I would like to bring up the importance of intersectionality within the climate space and within our businesses that is required. With intersectionality, I am trying to focus on the area of social intervention and gender neutrality, and how gender can be modified within the fashion space to accommodate everybody and try to meet their needs. So when you look at fashion industry right now, when you look at the trajectory of fashion industry, it's going to a gender neutral and circular space. Then a few of the examples is what I have quoted on the screen, where international brands have been trying to go genderless and gender neutral. Why it is needed is because we find that when there is no gender neutrality, when there is binary that still exists within the fashion industry, when right now we are trying to be as progressive as possible and trying to address the social needs, people are not exactly comfortable with the existing men and women only fashion that exists. And there have been a lot of use cases which I try to explore, and through my surveys and studies for the past 1 year, where I have interacted with thousands of people on how it's very detrimental for them to need a change within how the shopping experience can be made and how it can be modified. For example, I have been working with the gender community for a long time, for around 2 to 3 years, and I have identified various people trying to tell me the issue where as a person who is identifying beyond the binary genders, they're not able to exactly experience shopping in their own freedom or try to explore or do it at their own pace in the current shopping industry, like shopping space. If you look at that, it's the same when you do it online or if you do it offline. It's exactly binary that exists and something that we have to break. So circularity and breaking the gender binary is two issues that I am trying to focus and trying to work on with my brand. So the idea is to create a digital platform that redefines the cloth shopping experience as well as the owning experience of clothes to promote circularity in the fashion industry. And I'll just give you a recap of what we have done so far before I go ahead and explain what we are trying to do. So this idea was selected for the Climate Launchpad 2021 Bootcamp from the Singapore region. At first, I was trying to explore launching it in Singapore and expanding it in the Southeast Asian markets. But then I was trying to think about how we can implement it in India, and then started it in India recently. Also, I was recognized as a UN India Youth Climate Leader for my efforts in sustainability, and it was also announced through the United Nations India page about the upcoming of my circular fashion venture. The idea also went through the first round of NSREL IIM Bangalore incubation, and I'm awaiting the results for the second round. We launched our first collection and we had a brand collaboration as well. And we launched our first collection just last month, which was a completely gender neutral and sustainable collection, which I'll be introducing you to right now. The SDGs that we involve in and the impact areas are SDG 5, SDG 10, and SDG 12, where SDG 5 is for gender equality, which we are trying to bring about through our brand and through the modus operandi that we work with, where we are trying to implement gender neutral collections and gender neutral fashion accessories as such and make it accessible to everybody. We are trying to raise inequalities through all our social interventions and through our promotional activities and most of our interventions in the industry. Responsible consumption and production, we are trying to promote circularity, and I'll be explaining that further in the slides. So this was the first collection of my brand. It was summer spring 2022 collection Renaissance, and this was just few of the pieces that we launched. We actually launched 6 pieces, and these were all streetwear based, sizeless, gender neutral collection. We featured all our products were made with 100% organic denim. We sourced it from organic cotton farmers in Tamil Nadu and from Gujarat. All the products were completely hand woven. It is completely unbleached and naturally dyed. As I mentioned, it was completely gender neutral, and some of the pieces are even sizeless, which is something that we are trying to explore with the brand and to see how that works in this era of where we are looking forward to adjusting the sizes of our clothing accessories for someone who is plus size to someone who is thin, to accommodate everybody in between. With the textile waste that comes from this particular collection, we are also making footwear. One such example is what we have, what I'm showing on the screen. We have around 3 footwear in line along with the collection that is going to be made with the textile waste generated from the waste that we have produced. Along with that, we also worked with a lot of influencers within the gender and sustainable fashion space and got our message across. So we use an intensive social messaging where we talk about gender, we talk about breaking the binary, as well as issues associated with gender as a whole. So that can be identified in our Instagram, where we openly talk about de-gendering a lot of things, starting from clothing to makeup to all sort of things that we need to de-gender in our society right now. Coming to my idea, so right now, this was what we have reached until now, but what we're trying to go ahead with is creation of a digital platform, which is under progress. We are trying to create a digital mobile application as well as a web app, which is sort of like an e-commerce mobile application, but we're trying to sort of bring in the elements of metaverse into it, and then also trying to bring in elements of social media to it. So I'll be explaining the technology in the next slide, where what all elements of technology we have with it. But we are trying to achieve circularity through an intersectional approach, and that is through addressing gender and through different social interventions. And along with that, we are also trying to solve different aspects of sustainability in the supply chain of fashion industry. With that, I'll just give you briefly about what exactly we're trying to do. So imagine a mobile application, or let's say a web application, and this is like a e-commerce platform that exists in the market right now. But we have a lot of differences what we're trying to build with. First of all, we are trying to address a lot of circular or sustainability challenges within the industry, and to solve that, we're trying to integrate a lot of technology within this application. I'll just run you down through what you will be able to experience in this software. So with the mobile application or through the web app, once you go into it, you can purchase clothes as usual, like you do in different e-commerce platforms. But we offer a 3D trial room experience as well. All right, thank you. We offer a 3D trial room experience as well, where an avatar is being made on your complete size measurements, where people can try on different clothes digitally before buying. These technology exists as of now, and we have talked with the people who have experimented with it, and we are trying to take it as a third-party software to implement it. And we are also trying to, on a different approach, to build it on ourselves as well. In the 3D trial room, we try to cut down the possibility of returns that exist within e-commerce platforms, where we try to completely eliminate returns by people understanding what exactly the fit of the cloth will be on them, and also to understand if they like what they're trying to buy, because e-commerce returns usually happen within the fashion industry, where the size mismatch happens, as well as they don't exactly come out as displayed within the application or within the website. So to eliminate that, and as well as to provide an immersive virtual experience, we are implementing avatars, digital avatars of the consumer, and that's something can be shared across with their friends. So in that, I'm coming up to the social media elements that is involved. Social media elements that's involved within the application. So we are trying to create a profile for the consumer, and with the profile, they will be able to update their entire wardrobe that exists for them. So we are trying to update all the different cloth articles that they have, cloth accessories that they have, and it can be displayed publicly if they choose to, and people around can follow them and understand what is the wardrobe that they have. This is not separate social media experience. We're trying to integrate it with Instagram and different Snapchat. So it's not something that's competing with other social media platforms, but it's an additional experience for the users. We also are thinking of a metaverse level experience, where digital parties, digital events, digital experiences can be made, where they can digitally wear their outfits that they have purchased either through our platform or that they have updated on the platform with their wardrobe. Along with that, we are thinking of influencer marketing, which is something similar to what's happening with the e-commerce industry in China, where influencers are coming directly to the e-commerce platforms and going live, promoting different products. And this can be done with the existing influencers that's in the social media space right now. We're trying to onboard them into the platform, and they can do live sales as well as do thrifting of their existing wardrobe. Most important element of the profile would be their tracking their sustainability, and this will be done through a proprietary platform that has been created by a company called Carbon Flow, which we have been in talks with, where we'll be using that technology to track the sustainability of their existing wardrobe as well as the ones they're buying from us, and then display it on their profile, as well as for them to understand what is their carbon footprint with their existing fashion. fashion products and how much carbon footprint they can save by using different products we offer. The circularity element for new clothes, we are creating sustainable, ethical product, completely sustainable, gender neutral, organic products, fashion accessories, and clothing, which can be brought from our platform. For existing clothes that the customer might have, we are having a tracking and monitoring system, which I have mentioned before, where they can put their existing wardrobe on our platform, and then they can monitor the usage of their existing wardrobe. So we'll be tracking the amount of usage, we'll be tracking the amount of washes. All these will give them a sustainability ranking, as well as how they can improve their carbon footprint. We are also planning on collecting used clothes that might be sold from us directly, or that's their existing wardrobe, and upcycling, reworking, and integrating clothes recycling processes to convert them into new products from our side. We are having a design philosophy where our clothes are made to rebuild, restructure, or disassemble. So our clothes can be easily disassembled, and the parts which need repair can be repaired, and the ones that doesn't need repair can go back into the system and be made into a new product and be sold again.
Your time's up. I request you to please sum it up within 60 seconds.
All right, so there is a lot of other circularity elements we focus as well. We are trying to keep it in a very affordable range, comparing with both sustainable products that exist in the market as well as gender neutral products. So you can see where we stand with our competition. And then with the budget, we are looking at a budget of around $20,000, where 5 lakh is going into the development of digital infrastructure and to test. 4 lakhs is going for streamlining production and to increase our scale. 4 lakh is going into the promotion and marketing, with 2 lakhs going into hiring of 3 different roles: marketing manager, partnerships coordinator, and tech lead. We have a profit margin of 15 to 20% per products as of now. And for our products, we have an average profit or margin of 1,000 rupees per product as of now. We are looking for launching the web app by mid 2022, and we are working on expanding our portfolio into gender neutral innerwear, footwear, accessories, baby wear by the end of this year. We are thinking of having a real time experience store by mid 2023, and we are trying to expand into Southeast Asian markets soon as well. And we are trying to implement our cloth recovery program by 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Akhilesh. It was a wonderful presentation. I must say your first collection was very stylish. Moving ahead to the Q&A round, I'll be starting the timer now. So I request our judges to please unmute themselves and start asking questions.
Hello, Bhaskar, are you not going first?
Go ahead. I'll maybe come back a little later. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Brilliant presentation. Absolutely stunning. The only thing I am concerned about your first product, cotton.
Yes.
Everything is fine after that. But your raw material, how you are going to deal with that?
That's one issue that we are still working on. So first, the reason why we chose cotton, so we are working with organic cotton that is certified from organic cotton certified farmers. But the issue why we chose cotton, I had different options to work with in raw materials as well. But I was thinking about the scalability, and right now scalability can be made through organic cotton because it's easily available than the other raw materials. And what I was thinking is, with the production we have made, we will try to implement a buyback and incentivizing program through our application itself to get back these products and then convert them. As I mentioned, there is some design elements where we design to disassemble. We are going to track all our products that are being sold through our platform and get them back at the end of their life cycles. So We thought that will be a better approach initially than to step in, first of all, into a niche way with other raw materials that's available in the market. And this was much easier to work with as well.
I think you need to do a lot of research in that then, and probably working with WWF.
Yeah.
Would be beneficial to understand the impacts of cotton and how they are trying to decrease the impacts of cotton. And instead of cotton, you can use the, denim, like you reuse the denim, I would say, denim as a waste, which is coming out of as a waste. And probably they have already has a lot of denim to sell out as a waste, and which can be your raw material. So yes, cotton is in itself is a big challenge for you, and probably for the environment also. It needs a lot of water, and a lot of bad practices of agriculture are involved in cotton. And that the first thing is not so sustainable in the sense of plenty other things. Like you need to do research on cotton and probably try to get other material. And
ma'am, can I say something?
Yeah.
So what we're doing right now, working with organic cotton, which we are tracing back. So what we're trying to do is work with farmers who have a proven track record of providing sustainable cotton itself. So the amount of water they use, there is no pesticides or any other artificial pesticides or insecticides that's being used. All this is being monitored, and those are farmers which have been certified to be sustainable are the only ones that we are using right now for the collection. But as you said, we are thinking about getting denim that's being used. So that's our plan for the next 2-3 years, to recollect existing clothes that's there in the market and from consumers, and then to utilize them. So for that, what we were thinking is to making a consumer base. So the first step of making consumer base, we thought we'll do by this approach of having our own collections and creating a pool of consumer base and collecting used clothes from them.
Yeah, thank you. I think my concern was with the raw material itself. Otherwise, you're planning around how to increase the awareness and the market for gender equality and other social and all that is okay, because that is only bringing all other apps or all other partners together and building an app. So I'm fine with that, and it is possible, and it is also a good way to go forward, especially with these influencers and other things. That is absolutely stunning, I think, and it is working just now. It is in the market and it will work. I think go to WWF, approach them, or also just the waste material, which you are make the waste material stream as your raw material, and then probably you will survive a lot more better than what you are doing for now. I think I will stop there, allow others to ask you questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Hi, Akhilesh. Thanks for the presentation. I'll probably ask some questions for my own clarity, maybe because for the time, you were short of time. So, as I understand, and correct me if I'm getting it wrong, your main proposal is to hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, your main proposal is the creation of the digital platform.
Yes.
Right? And the second part is the procurement channel, as you have said, from the organic farmers, and then the third step is the collection of used apparel in the third stage. Is that correct?
Yeah, the recovery is in the third stage. Recovery of existing clothes.
Stage.
Yes.
Okay. Have you considered using existing e-commerce platforms and integrating your organization in the existing e-commerce infrastructure which is there, as opposed to creating a separate e-commerce platform? Because I feel the infrastructure is already there, and you might as well use that to integrate your organization. And obviously, influencers are also very much active on the current e-commerce platforms as well as on Instagram. So you might
Yes.
also be able to use Instagram for business as an alternative than investing upfront too much on a new digital platform.
I was thinking about that, but the issue was we have this proprietary plan in place, and something that's so we talked to a few e-commerce platforms as well. So that's focused on sustainability as at this stage, but we were not able to come to a conclusion where they will be able to incorporate all our ideas, and we have a specific vision as such on how the outlook should be in the future. We want to have the production house for the creation of clothes from our end for our brand, the recovery of not just our brand but also for other existing clothes in the market, and then having the digital experience that will be within our own space. We are ready to collaborate with other brands and existing designers and everybody in the market. So that's something we are looking forward to in the future as well. Right now, the first collection was also made in collaboration with a brand, because we believe so taking existing brands in the market and pushing our ideology, not just pushing our ideology, but working with them to come to a similar stance has really helped them also to achieve sustainability, as well as will help other brands also to help achieve a sustainability. And we create a platform which is just for that, and which we can use for our vision is something why we didn't think of going outside, even though we tried, but we didn't come to a space exactly there.
All right. And my second, probably not a question, but more like an opinion statement, is following on Dr. Renuka's line of thought. Is I think you should consider using the existing apparels and existing garments in the market as your raw source of raw material. Side by side, organic cotton, obviously, but yeah, the current stock of apparel in the industry is good enough to act as your source of raw material, is
Exactly.
what I think.
So, the one of the major issues why I didn't go that way is I have experience working with old cloth materials through my organization, and I have done multiple cloth drives, and this is somewhere the idea of the brand itself came across also. Why I didn't go that way is because of the funding requirement for management of the existing apparel, and then creation of a production system just for that. So right now, what my thought process was to work in this way, which is a bit more not affordable, but a bit more less pricey way to go ahead, and then sort of with the revenue that we create, work towards the stream of using existing clothes. But if we are getting enough funding in the initial phase itself, we are ready to go ahead for the creation of this supply chain, and that's something that we are very much up to do.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Just to add on the like, if anyone don't want to ask questions, please, if anyone want to ask questions, go ahead. Otherwise, I can add.
You can add.
Okay, thank you. Just to add on Aritra's comments and your answer, actually, I believe you have not explored further, like researched more. I know that IKEA offers us a personal wardrobe. I mean, a personal design of your room.
Yes.
Why not partner with them to show your personal wardrobe? Because when a person is having a wardrobe, like they have that infrastructure to show their personal room, you can buy in their app in the sense of partner with them to just tailor your requirement. Again, with appraisal, there is a plenty of raw material and the market for that. Why not partner with them? And if you go on like if you research, there is a very big market in Poland and Denmark which sells tons of unused items from all these brands over the world. For example, TK Maxx does the same, or many other companies do the same. They buy from the big brands and sell it in a low price. And if you go to the market of that type of clothing, you will probably get something very, very, very cheap. I mean, very cheap. And why not use those things rather to go for a cotton? So these are just the idea, and I think you need to do a lot of research for that, and also be more proactive in your partnerships. Why your partnership failed, you must have learned some lessons through that, and maybe you can move forward with more constructive partnerships.
Yes, sure.
Time's up. Thank you,
Thank
Renuka
you,
ma'am
judges.
and Akhilesh. It was a wonderful presentation. Job well done. Moving ahead, before we conclude the event, I'd request Dr. Renuka Thakur to have a small discussion on global sustainable futures.
Thank you, Chirag, and thank you, Daisy, and thank you, Vikrant, for providing this platform to speak about my Global Sustainable Futures Network. I'm a founder of this network, and initially it was started as a incentive to give a free open platform for Global South to engage with Global North. And particularly it was started for research, but going forward in just 15 months, we have got now 1,500 coordinators in 132 countries. And we have expanded from like not having only researchers, but we are having equal number of businesses and equal number of individuals who are so motivated to contribute to the dialogue and the discourse and the practices of sustainability in the world. So we have several activities, like we engage with social media with a goal of the month, which UN publish every month. Secondly, we have research projects specifically coming into group and then do research projects, and especially on climate adaptation, resilience, and sustainable practices in all the SDGs. And then we have 2 monthly seminars, which is on 2nd and 3rd Friday. We get together and we have this GSF and Friday Idea Exchange platform. We also have our own YouTube, we have our own TV, we have plenty other things going on worldwide, like challenges for women entrepreneurship, water challenge, and earth. Now big programs we do, like engage with big collaborations and do several programs. Even we had our voice in climate change last year COP conference, and we were talking in pre-climate fringe program. So this is where we just try to create an awareness, as well as also some practices for sustainability. Going forward, just one thing I would like to say, that we are going to have, we are developing a proposal. Of course, it is in a very conceptual idea. We are developing a proposal where we want to show, assess the impact of climate adaptation and resilience. And we are going to have this Road for Sustainability or Nisarg Foundation as one of our partners. So through these partners or through this channel, we might reach all these applicants to see what changes we have made and how we have impacted on climate adaptation and resilience. So probably there would be, at some point, we might connect again And that is what I wanted to share. So stay in touch with Road to Sustainability or Nisarg Foundation, so we might reach through that route to you. That's all. Thank you very much. I have also shared a form which you can fill up to become our member, I mean coordinator. Why we are using the word coordinator? Because we want you to be a coordinator between this big idea of sustainability and the community to create, work and own the ambassadorship of sustainability. So I will stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renuka ma'am, for sharing the insights on the work you've been doing. I'm sure our participants were very engaged and are looking forward to attending the events held by Global Sustainable Futures. And as we are about to conclude today's event, I request our founder, Mr. Chirag Putrani, to say a few words of motivations to our participants.
We are waiting for me, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. One question I had for Miss with Renuka ma'am is like, since you mentioned that, so like how big is the community and how are you engaging everyone? Do you have some kind of routine follow-up or things that you do?
Yes, when you fill up the form, you get into the list of our mailing list. You get into our mailing list, and so you receive all the activity, all the updates through our of our activities through email. So we have a Google group where you are involved. I think Vikrant is one of our members, so he is receiving our emails regularly.
I did sign up, but I'm not sure if I received those. Maybe it's going in my separate folder.
Okay, I think I will check and I will let you know. I don't think I have your email, so probably it has not gone through. So today I have put this link. I can put once more the link, and please sign up. So just a minute. It is a short form, and why this is important, because here in UK and in Europe, you know, we have a requirement that we cannot hold anyone's email address unless we have received their confirmation. So this is a very short form you need to fill up and just say yes when we say about your email address, that can we have your contact details, and you say yes. And so that is why we are just asking you to fill up this form. Once you fill up this form, you will receive a welcome email, and in that we write down all our activities, and you can get engaged with all these activities. And regularly, I would like to invite you also to speak about this initiative, so that it can be, you know,
I'll look forward for that.
known by the people.
Yeah, I think I'll check it in my, if I got, otherwise I'll resign.
Sorry?
I'll resign if I haven't got an email. I'll check it again.
Yes. Okay. Maybe it has gone in a spam folder. I don't know, because sometimes it happens.
I'll do a second check.
Yeah, and if you want, you can fill up this form, so we can regularly connect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank everyone who had given some great proposals. I would imagine there are a lot of clear incentivizing, and I see a lot of use of the apps, which people are trying to see as one of the area of getting inroads for with people who are using smartphones, and that's probably the best way of getting inroads right now. So that's a good consideration a lot of people have put together. And if I would say, if you guys, anybody has a beta app, please go ahead and share us so that we can play around with it. We can see, we can give some comments regardless of some of our thoughts as well. And I would like to thank all the judges who have put significant effort in sitting and learning about this, as well as giving their expert opinion. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
very glad. We should have some feedback pretty soon.
Thank you, sir. So as Chirag sir has said, first of all, I'd like to thank our judges for their valuable time and support since day one that we've started our initiative. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. Second of all, I'd like to congratulate our finalists for delivering such wonderful presentation. It was so engaging that I wasn't bored for this past 2.5 hours. So congratulations to all of you on the wonderful job done. We'll soon be declaring the results, obviously, after we successfully complete our fourth pitch day, which is to be organized on the 23rd of April. We'll be declaring the results via our website, social media accounts, and we'll also deliver direct emails to our participants. So having said that, we can officially conclude today's event, and thank you to everyone again. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.